Gronkowski is here. Let's welcome in our four-time Super Bowl champion. Okay, all right. What do we got, Gronk?
I'm the greatest of all time. They call me the GOAT. I'm just singing the song, okay? I kind of like it.
I've never really. It's so funny because I don't think we can play like licensed music. So it's just, Marissa, how does that happen? We just find random songs?
Yeah, it's a library track from a free library. I'm so glad you like it. Thank you so much.
They call me the GOAT. Gronk, how are you? How was your turkey day?
It was good. I actually ate a ton of turkey. I ate a ton of sides as well. I went all out 100%. It was one of those moments where it was like, all right, I was with a couple of my buddies. We were in New York because I did the Fox show for Thanksgiving. I went and saw a couple of my buddies in New York, and then I was like, yo, I'm going all out. I want to see what it's like to just be super full again. And I literally probably had 4,000 calories while I sat at the dinner table, and probably 150 grams of sugar after I ate all the turkey and sides as well, and desserts. 150 grams of sugar in desserts.
Do you think the most you've ever eaten in a meal is like at a Thanksgiving meal? Or is it like training camp or what?
I would say a Thanksgiving meal. I usually, during football season, I would never stuff myself to that degree because I know I have to go out the next day and practice and perform. But it was finally, I was like, I got nothing for 2 days. I'm going all out. And literally, though, the next day I woke up, I walked around for about an hour, and then I went right to the gym, and I hit the treadmill for about an hour and a half because I needed to burn it all off. I wasn't feeling so great.
Well, you're here. We're excited to have you. You are kind of retired, and you get to welcome another guy to the club. DeSean Jackson today decided to finally. We had him on our show, and I guess he did say that he was maybe going to try to join a contender or see what was available, but he announced his retirement this morning. You're wearing kind of the DeSean Jackson shades here. What would you like to say to an Eagles great? Obviously, he spent some time as a Buck, not with you, but what do you want to say? He's now retired.
Yes, actually, I'm honoring DeSean Jackson with these shades right here. I saw that he wore them the other day or last week whenever he was on the show. So DeSean Jackson, I just want to say congratulations on such a great career, my man. I remember when I used to play you back in the day when I was at the University of Arizona. We played versus each other in college, and you were just a lethal weapon. You had an unbelievable career in 2 phases of the game, special teams as a punt returner and a wide receiver on the offensive side of the ball. One of the best deep threats of all time, one of the fastest, most quickest players to ever play the game, man. Congratulations. You represented the game well. You did great for the NFL. Go enjoy retirement and enjoy your life now, DeSean.
Any retirement advice for DeSean Jackson?
I would just say find something you love, my man. Also, stay in shape, man. You've been doing it your whole life. You've been running around your whole life. Staying in shape, it just feels good. It just feels part of the routine. I see a lot of players, sometimes they just lose it. They put on 50 pounds, 60 pounds, and just don't stop working out just like that. So come find me. We'll get a workout in together and find something you love to do now as well.
You guys played each other 3 times. He obviously had, like a couple of iconic plays. Is there a play that sticks out to you with him?
I'll
take you to one.
I just let me see. I mean, I've played so many games, Kay. Let me see a play that he made versus us. But I remember that. I remember the iconic play when he was on the Eagles and the New York Giants weren't supposed to punt to him, and they punted to him, and he brought it to the house with like what? Is this the play that you're going to bring up?
Yeah, talk me through this.
All right. I thought you meant to play a game that he was facing myself. But, yeah, he picked it up. He fumbled the ball a little bit, picked it up, went backwards, cutting through a couple defenders. That's the type of speed that he has. He can just hit the speed burst and literally just zoom right through the defenders, and that's what he did there. And this is what you got to love about him, showboating. That's just who he is, what he loves to do, and it just brings a whole nother aspect to the game. So that was definitely the biggest play in his career that he made, and it's going to be the most memorable play. Well deserved as well, man. Thank you for that play. I mean, it got a lot of people out of their seats, and it made a lot of people just appreciate what you do and just the type of player that you are.
You're saying, thank you for that play. The only person not saying thank you for that play is, I think it's Matt Dodge. Is that the name of the punter on that one? Like, no one still knows why you didn't just boot that one out. Like, what do we do? I don't know what happened there, but that's okay. Congratulations to DeSean Jackson on your retirement. You used the word showboating, which is so apropos and you're such a good teammate and partner because it brings us right next to our headline news today. No, we're not going to talk about Carolina first, and no, we're We're not going to talk about the Eagles or the Niners. We're going to talk about Brady on this boat. What is going on with it? You're talking about working out. What? Look at this man's body, Gronk. What is happening?
Man, he's looking good. Tom's looking good. Look at that. He has a six-pack now. He's got some biceps. He's got some triceps that he's pushing off of right now. I think he flexed in this picture, that's for sure. But I don't think it was really a thirst trap picture. Everyone calls it thirsty thirst trap or whatever. I don't know. But I think he was with his family. He was out there just enjoying the water, going scuba diving, all that good stuff. And he just posted a picture, with his shirt off, just showing that he's still in shape, that he can still do it. And he looks good. It's pretty incredible. He looks good. He's 46 years old, and he's just looking fantastic.
Is this the best he's ever looked?
What's that, Kay? I didn't hear you.
I said, I think it's the best he's ever looked. He looks like he has a spray tan, too. I'll just say that. But Gronk with the hottest take of the day saying this is not a thirst trap. That is the hottest take I've ever heard out of Rob Gronkowski. This is a grade A thirst trap.
Yes, it's got to be a hot take because he's just a hot man.
I made a point in our meeting. I didn't want to talk about the Patriots with you because it's just bleak, and we talk about it all the time, and it's all the same stuff. But with the David Tepper news and the sort of news about their separation from their coach Frank Reich and Bryce Young and all of that, it got me thinking about Robert Kraft. And you and I have talked about literally every angle of the Patriots and every whatever thing. But I mean, you have a close relationship with him. Or you did when you were up there. There's a lot of love there. What, if you, in your best words, because I think a lot of people are like, well, Tepper, some owners are too involved, like the Jerry Joneses. How did Kraft perfectly walk that line of very much cared, very much invested, but still let other people do their thing?
I think those are the best organizations in football when you have the owner of the team involved with the team. I wouldn't say super involved with the team. I would just say they're there on a daily basis. They're making sure everything's going smooth. They actually care about the team. They actually care about the game of football. If you look at it, you got Jerry Jones loves the game of football. Mm-hmm. Look at that. That's America's team, as they so proclaim. So you also got the New England Patriots with Mr. Robert Kraft, does an unbelievable job. He's always around on a daily basis, loves the game of football, loves the New England area, and that's why it's such a historic franchise because of that reason. What's going on in Carolina, I'm not really sure. I feel like there's a ton of problems, and it obviously starts with the owner, with what's going on, A to Z. I don't know much about the Panthers besides we beat them every single time when I was in Tampa. That's all I know. 4 times we beat them in the 2 years I was there. But Mr. Kraft just does such a great job. He cares about the community. He set up the Patriots Foundation of giving back, which is an unbelievable thing to do for the community. So, and he's always there around. He's at practices. He's in some meetings. He's just around the building. So it's just great to see. He cares. And those are the best franchises in football when the owner cares as well. And
I'm just looking at he's owned the team for 30 years. So congrats to Kraft, because that's an anniversary that's happening right now. He's done all the things that you said, brought so many championships and so much happiness, so many memories to that area. But he's also only had 3 head coaches: Pete Carroll, Bill Parcells, and our guy, Bill Belichick. And, Parcells, of course, in the Hall. Pete and Bill, locks for the Hall of Fame. It's just really incredible what he was able to do. And what separates him. You're talking about Tepper. There's reports that he handed one of the former OCs a play he drew up and told him, the Browns ran it last week, I want you to try it.
See, that's getting involved a little bit too much. You're getting involved in plays now. If you were a former player and a former head coach or something, and then you became an owner, which I don't know how you're not going to get paid enough doing those 2 jobs to become an owner then. But if some reason that's the case, then maybe you can have some say. But in the play call and the type of plays that you should be running. But with that circumstance right there, that's a little out of the ordinary. And I would say that probably, causes some problems in the organization when that happens. Yeah, they're going to look for a new coach. I think, you sort of maintain Bill's going to stay there as long as possible. Do you feel like there's a world now, as we sit here, that Bill doesn't coach there next year? He's coaching somewhere else? The only way I would say that he would coach somewhere else is if it's mutually agreed upon between both parties. That's the only way I see that happening. But like I said, I feel like he's grandfather claused in. He's been there for so long. He's done so much great for the organization. 6 Super Bowl wins, just taking the team from rock bottom. Well, when back in the day, end of the 90s, early 2000s, and just bringing it to the promised land for all of New England. So just give us some time, and we'll be seeing what happens from here.
Okay, love it. I want to talk a little bit about, we haven't talked about, there's some quarterback news going on. Jared Allen was on my show yesterday, probably Hall of Famer. He's like a finalist for the 4th time. He said that Kirk Cousins is sort of done. Now, he's on the last year of his deal, all of that. Do you think that they maybe should move on from like a Kirk Cousins and find a rookie? Or do you think that that's something Kirk will probably, Kirk wants to get paid, right? Just sort of your thoughts on that.
I mean, Kirk's been paid. The guy is making
Jared Allen said he has golden crutches.
Yes, that's for sure. I agree with Jared Allen on that one, but I don't think his career is done. His time in Minnesota might be done, but I don't think his career is done. And you either have 2 choices when you go through an injury like this. It's either you tank or you find a way to come back and come back stronger, especially at the age that Kirk is at right now. And I believe Kirk just is that competitive. He has that much fire in him. I think he's going to find a way to progress and become a better player through this injury and come back. If it's not with the Minnesota Vikings, it will be with another team.
Okay, we're going to do our parlay here in a bit. I want to get your thoughts. Obviously, just with quarterbacks keeping that going, the Saints, they need wins. Derek Carr sort of not doing it. They don't have Sean Payton anymore. They do have, obviously, Dennis Allen making the calls there. They're 5-6. They just lost to the Falcons. They're now behind the Falcons. If you were a coach, would you make the switch to Jameis Winston if you're DA?
I would definitely be looking into that to make the switch to Jameis Winston. The thing is that when Jameis Winston was a quarterback, though, he was a turnover machine. I'm not sure how he's really doing in the Saints offense right now and in the practices, what his consistency is. But Derek Carr, I'm telling you, I was watching the game versus the Falcons last week, and I can tell you, he was putting some of the passes right on the money where only the wide receiver could make the play, and the wide receiver was making the play, and then they were driving right down the field. And I'm like, man, Derek Carr looks like an all-pro right now. I literally turned around, grabbed the snap, took a bite, and then turned back around again. And then the Falcons are going in for a pick 6. And I'm like, what happened? And I see the replay, and he throws the worst pass right to the defender, and it went for a pick 6. And it was like, wait, why did he do that? So the consistency is not there with Derek Carr, and that's a problem where you would have to go in, and now you're going to have to look at the possibilities of starting Jameis Winston just because of the inconsistency. And I would say that kind of, tends to be kind of his whole career. He always pushes you in, and then he just has that bummer throw, which is no good.
Yeah, but at least he goes for it. Derek Carr was sitting there touchdownless on the sideline, and we have to show you this. Imagine if this is that's Derek Carr sitting there, and that's Jameis rapping Ludacris, full out of 10, an 11 out of 10, full go. Can you imagine if this was like Brian Hoyer and Tom Brady sitting out there without a touchdown?
All right, now watching this with Jameis Winston, I think he should be starting rest of the year. I love his personality. I love his energy. Put him in. Put Jameis in. Famous Jameis. Let's go, baby. Yeah. Let's go. Put him in. No more turnovers.
Yeah.
Wait. Well, why am I cheering? I'm kind of a Buck. I'm a Buccaneers fan, so I like Jameis. So I met him before. I really like the guy, but the rivalry. The Saints, Buccaneers.
Yeah,
so
we should have just asked you that from the jump. Just showed you that video of him rapping to Luda. But it kind of brings up I know you're kind of joking, but the spark thing matters. So when you have like you're looking at the Giants, and they couldn't get it going, and then Tyrod gets hurt, Daniel Jones and then you put in this kid, and these you have the whole team going, Tommy DeVito, and there's all this fanfare, and these kids are lining up for 5 hours to get some stupid sandwich, not stupid, I'm sure it's delicious, some sandwich with him. How much does that matter? What you just saw with that Jameis Winston video, that intangible, how much does it really matter, Rob?
It matters a lot. You want someone at the quarterback position that is electric. You want to be on the field with someone that is electric. And you would rather have the guy that is more electric and with less talent than the guy that has more talent, that brings no electricity to the field, that brings no spark to the field. And I feel like that's the position between Derek Carr and Jameis Winston right now. So I would definitely toss him Jameis Winston because he is electric. He can give you that spark. And if you feel that spark while you're on the field, that could get everyone to play better. And that's many situations. That's even the Tommy DeVito situation. He's walking around doing that, all the talent and stuff. Let me tell you, that's a spark right there. I feel like Daniel Jones, might be a great guy, but if you're not bringing that electricity to the field and getting the players around you pumped up and to be out there on the field with you, well, then your talent is kind of thrown out the window. So I feel like that's what I kind of brought to the table as well, is every time I hit the field, it was like, all right, let's go, baby. I'm bringing that electricity. Everyone get pumped up around me. Let's bring it. Let's have some fun. And that's what it's all about. Sometimes in football, it's not about talent. It's about being a football player and bringing that juice.
I think it matters if you're winning or losing too, because you didn't need to be that, but you were just like all pro, like in a league of your own. So it was, so are other quarterbacks, and that's fine. And like Brady holds everybody accountable, and like all that went on. But like Brock Purdy isn't like a loud guy. He's not like boisterous, like but he's winning. And those guys, like Debo on my show yesterday was like, he's confident AF. Like he does not feel pressure. He's good. And then Daniel Jones, when he's winning, like, it's okay. Or Eli Manning, when he was the quarterback of the Giants, he wasn't exactly like, rah, rah, let's go. Like, but they were winning. And so when you're not winning, then it does matter if you're sunken on the sideline versus like, we got this, have faith in me. Like, that's when you have to sort of, I imagine, start campaigning when the chips are down.
Yeah, that's a very good point as well, Kay. That is definitely a very good point.
I'm asking. I don't know.
I'm just saying, I agree with you.
You just want to do this.
I'm just saying, put the guy in with the most electricity for my own sake, so I can watch the game and enjoy it a little bit more. But yeah, if you're winning, that solves all problems.
Rob, really do you get bored watching the games?
Not really, It's not like I just sit down and watch the games. I mean, that's what's so great about football. It's not like a TV show where you got to be caught up on or anything. You just put the game on. You have some friends over. You can be shooting some pool, playing some ping pong while the game is still playing. You can look at the game. You can see a highlight. That's what makes football so great, is that it can be the background music. It can be the background noise. And then you can also still catch up what's going on while doing other things as well.
Yeah, subtle field general Eli was. Because there are some, like, Mahomes has both. Like, you had both. Tom had both. But it's an interesting thing when you have to have the Tommy DeVito, Jameis Winston vibes to make a spark. Speaking of sparks, let's do a parlay. We got this going on. Tomorrow's a great game. You got Dallas Cowboys. They're playing host to the Seahawks Thursday Night Football. Fresh off our, I think, 3 for 3 boosted Thanksgiving Day parlay last week. We're on a roll. Let's do it. What you got first? The first leg in our Kay and Rob no sweat parlay.
We are definitely on a roll, and I'm going with an up-and-coming tight end and Jake Ferguson for the Dallas Cowboys. He's going to have plus 25 receiving yards.
Okay, you went rogue there, and I like it. I'm gonna reel it back here. I'm just gonna go with Dak Prescott, who's like slowly making an MVP run here, but with his numbers in the past couple of weeks, he's thrown for 250 plus in all 5 games he's played at Jerry World this season. So I'm gonna say 250 plus for Dak.
And my second leg, I'm going to go with DK Metcalf, who's an absolute beast. He can run for days to have 60-plus receiving yards.
Okay, I like that. I'm going to wrap it up here. We're just going to do DK. Okay, I'm going to go. I did Dak, so a nice little stack there will be CD. I'm going to go CD anytime touchdown on this one. He has scored in 3 straight. He's got 5 touchdowns in his last 5 games. So to recap, CD, anytime touchdown, Dak to throw for 250 plus, Gronk's rolling with the Cowboys, tight end, sure, Jake Ferguson, but it's like 25 plus, that can happen, and DK Metcalf to have 60 plus receiving yards. Ride with us, guys, on FanDuel. All FanDuel customers right now join our no sweat same game parlay for Thursday Night Football. If it loses, who cares? You get bonus bets back, and you can ride along again, or you can build your own, by the way. It's all no sweat. Don't miss out on your chance to get a no sweat same game parlay on FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Who you got in that game?
I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys. It's at home. They're on some incredible home win streak right now. But Seattle Seahawks, they were hot at the beginning of the year, but they're kind of fading now. So definitely the Dallas Cowboys.
Love that. All right, we're going to take a break with you. I got to get your thoughts on Deontay Johnson. not quite the Patriot way. So we're going to talk about that. We'll hit a little Steelers. Maybe we'll talk a little Cleveland. And I got a mystery guest for Gronk. By the way, we're doing an Ask Gronk Anything, guys.
We'll start, but that's not good enough. This big man has dreams of playing like the little guys.
I would like to get more versatile on the wing, be able to dribble more.
We got him on a 2-dribble limit right now.
I can get a little shots outside. I don't really want to focus on that. I mean, the closer you are, the easier it gets.
So while you won't see Travis Kelce running the point too often for the Tigers, what you will see is a big body that can play well both inside and out.
Gronk, what do you make of those Travis Kelce high school
Hey,
highlights?
not bad, Kay. You were saying that the highlights weren't on point, that he was missing his shots and having turnovers and everything. And I just watched. He had a great assist. He had a 3-pointer. He had 2 layups made. He looked pretty good, man. He looked like a good wing/shooter out there. Guard.
Fake news. I didn't say anything. I don't even know what I'm looking at. I was studying his face and the way he talks and thinking about what I literally was thinking. What does Taylor Swift think when she sees this going viral? What does she think of this? That's what I was thinking about it. But no one thinks that they're a better hooper than you.
Yes. Well, Travis had some athletic ability. It kind of shows. It kind of translates over to the football field. The way that he moves, you can definitely see it. But my basketball skills, they weren't really basketball skills. All right? Hey, this is when I was training. I just do this for fun. I actually trained at the University of Providence a couple weeks ago. My buddy's a coach there, so he puts me through some drills. But I'm not bad. But when I was in high school, I was the worst basketball player that you would ever watch. I would get 20 rebounds a game. I would average like 22 points, but I couldn't dribble.
Wow.
And I couldn't. It was all layups and it was all rebounds, and every single one of my points was just because I was bigger than the other guy, that I would just manhandle him the whole game and just score my points in the paint. I would have a couple dunks as well, make the crowd go crazy, but my actual basketball skills, they really weren't up to par. But let me tell you, I'm working on them now. I can finally dribble, I can finally shoot, and it's a lot of fun.
Somebody said no left hand, Gronk. What?
Yeah, I really don't have a left hand. It's due to, look at this. I had 4 surgeries on my forearm, so like my arm doesn't really twist that well. So it makes it harder for me to dribble, but it's getting better every single time I practice.
Well, how about, don't you feel stupid, Angelo? Don't you feel mean? Gronk has 4 surgeries on his arm. That's why he has no left hand. We're taking your comments.
That was just an excuse, Angelo. Just making excuses here.
Scott A says, can you imagine Gronk coming down the lane at you?
Exactly. I had no basketball skills. I couldn't go around anyone. So whenever I went full speed down the lane, it was watch out, you're getting leveled. I'm going to get, what is it? What's it, a charge? I'm going to get a charge on me. That's all right, because I'm going to absolutely deck the guy like it's a football play. And then, hey, that's part of my game.
I love it. You guys can keep hitting up the chat with some questions. I have a question. You said that you ate a lot on Thanksgiving and then you got right back into the gym. Now you're working out randomly at the University of Providence, hooping. What could you do if you had to get out there this week? If you had to get out there on an NFL field this week, what would it look like?
Oh, I'd probably have like 6 catches for 90 yards and maybe a touchdown. But you would have to take me out on the blocking plays, put me in on probably half of the pass plays, and I could probably produce, Kay.
So you'd be like Travis Kelce.
Yeah, there you go. You're right. He's my inspiration now. If I ever, But no, I actually just love to do activities. I love to play basketball because throughout my whole career, it was always football training. I love to shoot hoops. I don't really care for going like 5-on-5 basketball or 1-on-1. I just love to do the activities. I love the 3-pointers, love shooting, all that good stuff.
Gronk would be another joker.
Jokic?
Yeah.
That's my favorite player in the NBA. I would love to be him.
Elf 2 with Will Ferrell. Gronk, let's do it.
There we go. I can do that now.
I would love to see you in that elf costume. All right, we're going to take a break. We have a special. Somebody wants to know if Gronk is a skier. You're a skier, right? You said you ski.
Yes, I am a skier. I started skiing when I was about 12 years old. I took off about 8 years when I was playing in the NFL, but then I picked it right up. I'm back out there. I go about 5 times a year now. Vroom, vroom.
Vroom, vroom. All right, we'll be back with a special guest. A lot of talk about this. I don't know if this is soundful. I don't know if I'm voicing it. I'm on the air? Great. Here's what happened, Gronk. A lot of talk about this. A lot of opinions on what would happen, what should happen. What did you make of Deontay Johnson's effort and just the whole vibe.
Yeah, he definitely took off that whole entire play. Usually a player would take off like half a play and then they would see a fumble, right next to him. And then they would, pick it back up because that's a fumble. And he took off the whole entire play. It was kind of like, F you, I'm going to do me. I don't care what else is going on, which is pretty crazy to me. That's absurd that he did that. And he could have redeemed himself if he went for the ball. Like, there's no doubt about it. But he didn't even go for the ball. But I would, have a serious conversation with a player like that if I was the head coach. I wouldn't say it would go over well at all with any of the players as well. I mean, you're busting your balls out there. You're giving it your all to win the game for the city, for your team. And he's just doing that. So there's something deep down that's going on, and I would definitely have benched the player for the rest of the game if I was a coach.
Wow, we had Taylor Lewan on Monday, and he said that Tomlin should just on the next day just play it over and over, not say anything, just keep so everyone can see it over and over and over again. And Tomlin actually spoke about it a little bit yesterday. Let's hear that.
Dionate can't let the emotions of the previous down affect his next down, but I'll give him an opportunity to address that with you guys. I'll give him an opportunity to address that with his teammates. I'm not going to add any additional color. I think plays like that are best described and outlined by those involved, and less so by guys like me. I keep my attention on challenging things that await us this week. Schematic preparation for Arizona and the readiness of this group is something that he needs to answer for, and so I'll give him an opportunity to do that. His teammates will give him an opportunity to do that, and I won't provide any color until he does.
What do you think?
Yeah, I kind of like the way that Mike Tomlin handled that situation. No doubt about that. But I do think that there should be some type of punishment for Johnson, for sure. If it's, sit him next game or definitely I would have sat him that whole rest of the game right there with that type of effort, that play. But he definitely deserves a second chance. You never know. The emotions of the game can get to you. Like Coach Tomlin has said, they really do. The game is very, very emotional, especially when you're out there playing and you're in the midst of the battle. But if that happens again, I would say there would be some serious consequences. But give the guy another chance, punish him a little bit, a good amount, satisfy the team, and then see how he does from here on out, see how he reacts.
I think Tomlin should be Coach of the Year. I said it yesterday. They are winning with all of this, not drama, but all of this adversity, somehow still winning. If they make it into the playoffs, I think he should be the Coach of the Year.